I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my bros? What's good? Another full card UFC predictions to make. Let's go. Now, before we get into making breakdowns and predictions, all of that, we go to MoneyCity. What is the first MoneyCity comment? My boy Chef, my boy broke bets. Look at this. Makayev Bahelo. That's money. And Chef is like, hey, I'll pick Muhammad Makayev. Hey, come on, Chef. That's an easy pick. Let's go. And the second MoneyCity comment, Serial Chiller. That's a good username. Carol Rosa, Aljamain, Islam. That's money. Screen time, getting some screen time on the MoneyCity. O'Malley Yan over 1.5. Islam Oliveira over 1.5. That's money. And the guy said free money. He didn't lie. Alright, Maruna said, I'm going to keep my picks nice and simple. I'm that kind of to only bet Makayev and Kyle just to be on Lay's video every time. Hey, that's money still. Alright, looking at Watty, he said Islam inside the distance. Rosa, Muhammad Makayev. That's money. Let's go. Afraid to Gamble said Rosa, Muhammad Makayev inside the distance. Nurmagomedov, Lucas Almeida. I think that one was going to be wrong personally, but it got cancelled. Bilal Muhammad, Manofi. Hey, he's not afraid to gamble because that's money. Let's go. And the last MoneyCity play is from Cameron Shamurda, who's going back to back. Yeah, racking up the MoneyCity plays. Now racking up the racks. And this brother took Makayev inside the distance, Islam moneyline, MoneyCity, Shamurda City. Let's go. And guys, just to include myself, hey, check my MoneyCity play. That's money. Islam Makhachev. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Charles Oliveira. I'm not scared. Let's go. Alright, first matchup on this card, we've got Joshua Weems taking on Christian Rodriguez. Now, this matchup does kind of seem more like a contender series matchup rather than a UFC level matchup. And both of these fighters have competed on the contender series. Christian Rodriguez was able to win his fight on the contender, whereas Joshua Weems basically got dusted. Now guys, re-looking at Christian's UFC debut, it was quite a difficult debut against Jonathan Pearce. Essentially beaten by the wrestling, you know, fighting up a weight class at 145 pounds. His performance wasn't like super bad though. You could see Jonathan Pearce really tired, really working to get the takedowns. Now a couple things to note. I think Christian's boxing's pretty decent. You know, the hands are quite sharp, quite quick. You see that on the contender series. Most of Joshua Weems' wins are by submission. So it kind of seems like if he's going to win the matchup, he's going to have to get Christian to the mat. On the flip side, if Christian Rodriguez is going to win this matchup, he's probably going to stay on the feet, probably going to have some nice moments with the striking. That's going to score of the judges, right? But then again, who even knows what's going to score of the judges? Who knows? For me, guys, I'm going to side with Christian Rodriguez. I think his boxing's pretty sharp. I will say this, though. Look at the price tag. Ain't no way I'm betting that. Minus 400. That's a madness. Alright, moving into a matchup between Cody Durden taking on Carlos Mota. Now, Carlos Mota is getting this fight on very short notice. But when you go look at the tape and you look at the hooks, you look at the work to the body, you know, it's kind of good. You're liking what you see. On the flip side, Cody Durden, this guy's a good wrestler, right? The wrestling's not, it's not on like a Islam Makhachev level, but the wrestling's still good. You look at Durden's last performance against JP Byers, he didn't even need the wrestling. Just a firefight and gets the win, round one stoppage. It's a difficult matchup to predict because I think Carlos Mota is going to be more effective. He's going to be a better striker than Cody Durden. What's stopping me from making that pick is just the short notice fight. You know, there's no training camp. And that kind of makes me want to lean with the wrestler, the underdog, Cody Durden. So yeah, I'm going to side with Cody Durden. I like that he's the underdog. I like that he's got the wrestling advantage. I like that the opponent hasn't had a full training camp. So yeah, for me, I'm going to side with the underdog, Cody Durden. Alright, moving into a matchup between Chase Hooper taking on Steve Garcia. Now, for those of you that don't know, Chase Hooper's a very good jiu-jitsu player. Obviously not on the same level as like Charles Oliveira, but still a very, very good BJJ player. And that's probably because his parents are lifelong jiu-jitsu players. He was basically born into that jiu-jitsu way of life. I did pick Chase Hooper against Colares as an underdog, and that's purely because Colares is quite reckless, you know, makes mistakes, and against that type of fighter you've just got to capitalize when the mistake happens, and Chase Hooper did. Now guys, the first question I'm going to ask myself is literally the same question. Is Steve Garcia reckless? Will he make mistakes? And I'm going to say yes to both of those questions. Look at Steve Garcia against Charlie Ontiveros, aka Sideshow Bob. Yes, Steve Garcia did win this matchup, but I remember him getting clipped a couple times purely because he's just being reckless. And that's also the main reason why I took that Chinese machete dude as an underdog against Steve Garcia. You know, just reckless. And he showed that again, got clipped, got starched. You don't have to worry about Chase Hooper striking. Right, what you have to worry about is your back being taken. You have to worry about Chase being able to bring you into the jiu-jitsu game. So based on Steve Garcia being too reckless, I'm going to predict that he doesn't avoid the mat, and at some point Chase Hooper's probably going to take his back. And if Chase Hooper can take your back, it's probably a wrap. He's probably going to squeeze your neck. I'm going to have to side with Chase Hooper to win this matchup. Moving into a matchup between Joseph Holmes taking on JunYong Park. Guys, if you want me to make a prediction here based on logic, right? If you want me to make a pick based on who's more likely to win, I'm going to tell you to pick JunYong Park. However, for all these sharp gamblers, I wouldn't advise you bet JunYong Park at what? Over 70%. That price tag's too much. His boxing's good. His wrestling's good. Never forget when he Hamzat smashed John Phillips after Hamzat just smashed him. On the flip side, guys, I'd say Joseph Holmes does seem to be a good Muay Thai striker with jiu-jitsu, or maybe a jiu-jitsu player with good Muay Thai striking. The way Joseph Holmes raised the knee against Amadovsky, complete dusteration. Now thinking about how this matchup might play out, I think Park could push Joseph Holmes against the fence. You know, maybe take him to the mat. But even speaking about like the advantages that JunYong Park might have, the price tag's still too much. So purely because I believe the line is off, I'm going to have to advise that Joseph Holmes would be the sharp play. I'm going to advise the underdog, Joseph Holmes, as my pick. If Joseph Holmes can land a few calf kicks, you know, start to compromise the movement of JunYong Park, his value might show. So yeah, like I said, I think logically JunYong Park might be a better play, but from a gambling perspective, I'd have to side with Joseph Holmes. Moving into a matchup between Andrei Arlovski taking on Marcus Rogerio de Lima. Now, Andrei Arlovski has won 6 of his last 7 matchups, and the only loss in that 7 was against Tom Aspinall. So it's clear to see that Arlovski's still good enough to compete against a lower level competition. Now, would you guys describe Rogerio de Lima as a lower level competition, you know, lower level fighter? I wouldn't really describe him as that. Now, Lima's not going to be champion or anything like that, but he is better than guys like Jared Vanderaa, Chase Sherman, Jake Collier. Looking at the weapons that Lima likes to use, the calf kick's powerful. It's beautiful, it's violent, and he's also swinging like overhands and hooks at your skull at like 100 miles an hour, trying to knock you out. On the flip side, Arlovski wants to utilize footwork, you know, wants to take the fight late, looking to beat you on numbers. Essentially, Arlovski's looking for a close fight where his chin doesn't really get tested, which is kind of understandable considering he's like 44. Yeah, so for this one, guys, I'd have to say either guy is a likely winner. Right, Lima's going to blast the calf kick. He's going to look for overhands and hooks. On the flip side, Arlovski doesn't want a firefight. You know, wants to utilize more footwork. Wants to just like outpoint the opponent. The best advice I could give on this matchup is don't bet. But if you've got a bet, I'd advise the underdog. I'd advise Andrei Arlovski to be the pick. Alright, moving into a matchup between Roman Dolidze taking on Phil Hawes. Guys, let me start by saying this. What Phil Hawes done to Durden win, it was nearly illegal, right? It was nearly illegal. Even with contract signed, it was nearly illegal. Phil's got beautiful power, right? And his elbows are obviously very accurate. It's like his elbow couldn't miss Durden win. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because Durden's like 4 foot. But yeah, the elbows could not miss. Then you look at the wrestling of Phil Hawes. You know, the wrestling's good, physically strong, technically good with the grappling. On the flip side, Dolidze, this guy's good. You know, I took Dolidze as like a plus 200 against Kyle Dorcas. And I basically expected Dolidze to be physically stronger than Kyle Dorcas. But what he done to him, my goodness. You know, really hooked Kyle Dorcas up to the Shadow City server real quick. You know, dusted. Guys, this prediction's going to be the same as JunYong Park and Joseph Holmes. Logically speaking, I think Phil Hawes is the better pick. And you're going to make that pick based on like striking, wrestling, competition. That's logically the better pick. But again, right, from a gambling perspective, right, I think the better pick from a gambling play is going to be Roman Dolidze. So my advice, I think the underdog is the play. I believe if Roman can get like a takedown early, that will really help. You know, let me give you like a weird example just to help people understand the difference between a pick and a bet, right? If you went to the shop, or as the Americans would say, the store, right? Guys, if you went to the shop, yeah, and you went to buy some milk, and the shopkeeper said to you, the milk is $20. Yeah, if you wasn't a millionaire, if you lived in the real world, you'd say $20. I'll dash this milk off your head, right? That's gambling. What's the price? What's the price? I don't agree with the price. And some people are never going to understand the difference between making predictions on topology than trying to bet their predictions on topology. Some people will not get the difference. And that's fine, right? But some of us understand the difference and we're considered sharp gamblers. I don't believe betting Phil Hawes is a sharp play. So I'm going to advise an unpopular pick, an unpopular play. I'm picking Roman Dolidze. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoyed the smoke breaks, that's a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Now my tolerance break is finished. I am back to smoking weed, but just not as much weed as I normally smoke. Like normally, I'm going through at least a gram a day, right? Every day, every week, every month, every year. But now it's like, I'm gonna go through maybe 2 grams a week at most. At the very most. And to everyone in the comment section, like supporting me through the tolerance break, I see those comments. I love you guys, all respect. And to the people that said I took a tolerance break and never went back, I see those comments too. You know, stay clean, I respect you. But yeah, the tolerance break is done. Let's go. Let's spark the blunt. Now there's only one thing to speak about on this smoke break. Guys, Peter Yan did win. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real. That's my phone. Hey, if the phone screen's broke. Nah, it's not. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, anytime you drop your phone, it's like, please don't be broken. And it's not. So let's go. Guys, listen. Peter Yan won the fight. I predicted Sean O'Malley, right? I was passionate with my breakdown. Sean O'Malley didn't win. But this is the thing that really sucks the most. Sean O'Malley performed good. He was good. Like, Sean O'Malley really showed his top 5. And I think people are going to kind of forget about that. They're just going to speak about the robbery. And that's the thing that kind of sucks the most, because Peter Yan's a beast. Sean O'Malley performed. But the 3 rats, cage side, bad card, bad performance from the 3 rats. So yeah, I picked Sean O'Malley, but the people in the comment section that said, look, you're wrong. You guys were right. Peter Yan won each round. The rounds were close. They were close. But Yan won each round. That's a fact. Alright, if you guys want who I'm personally betting on this card, I did cash the last card. I cashed the card before. I cashed a lot of these cards. There's only one way to do that, to get my bet, and that's on the Patreon. Extremely fair price. Let's go. Alright, moving into a matchup between Dustin Jacoby taking on Khalil Rountree. Striker versus striker. Dustin Jacoby's a brilliant kickboxer, and Khalil Rountree has excellent Muay Thai kicks. You look at the work Rountree done against Eric Anders, you know, targeting the calf. It was a beautiful display of Muay Thai. And to be honest, I don't think Eric Anders really expected that. You know, just got blasted with those calf kicks. You know, Jose Aldo would have been impressed. You know what I'm saying? Really beautiful calf kicks. Now, Khalil Rountree does have a lot of power in his hands, but it seems to be the Muay Thai kicks that are most dangerous. I don't really see Dustin Jacoby going for takedowns. I don't really see Khalil going for takedowns. It should just be a stand-up contest. Now, looking at Dustin Jacoby, I do believe he's got better fakes You know, he can fake the opponent a little bit better, kind of raises the knee. I think Dustin Jacoby kind of controls the opponent a little bit more. You know, even grabs the glove of the opponent, which is, you know, kind of Jon Jones's type of game. You know, that glove fight. Grab the opponent's hand. You're looking for control in the stand-up. So yeah, stand-up contest between Dustin Jacoby and Khalil Rountree. I haven't picked against Dustin Jacoby yet, and I'm not going to be doing it against Khalil Rountree. I think if Khalil wins this matchup, it's probably a stoppage round 1, early round 2. But what I really see in this contest is, you know, Dustin Jacoby just kind of outperforming the opponent, you know, higher output, just maybe a little bit cleaner, a little bit more technical. So yeah, my pick, Dustin Jacoby, to stay undefeated in the UFC still. What's this going to be, like 7 wins in a row? He's on a good run. I'm picking Dustin Jacoby. Moving into a matchup between Tresean Gore taking on Josh Fremd. Man, Tresean Gore, I don't even know what to say. There's a few things to say. Let's start with, he's inexperienced. He's low output. The cardio's not great. The fight IQ's maybe not the best we've ever seen. His chin got cracked by a fighter that you wouldn't really expect to crack anybody's chin. You know what I'm saying? Cody Brundage. So yeah, not looking too good for Tresean Gore. I do think one of Tresean's best weapon is the calf kick. But even the calf kick, that was maybe the reason why Brundage was able to sleep him. You know, got too repetitive with that same technique, got too predictable. And he threw the calf kick, and that's when Cody Brundage just slept him. Now, guys, on the flip side, Josh Fremd debuted against Anthony Hernandez, you know, and he kind of had a good performance. You know, a better performance than what Marc-Andre Barriault did against Anthony Hernandez. If this fight goes to the mat, I could see Tresean Gore doing something inexperienced, like giving up his back, and that's where Josh Fremd just, you know, finds the neck, chokes him. However, if the fight stays on the feet, I could see Tresean Gore landing that calf kick over and over, maybe causing a few problems for Josh. Hey guys, gun to my head. My goodness, why am I doing this? I'm going to take Tresean Gore as an underdog. Don't bet it. Don't even listen to that prediction. I don't know why I'm doing it. Alright, moving into a matchup between Waldo Cortes-Acosta taking on Jared Vanderaa. Guys, if anybody knows Jared Vanderaa personally, can you please pass on my breakdown as advice? Now, my first piece of advice would be this. Fake an injury and don't take this fight. Now, I do understand that you're a warrior and you're probably not going to do that. So, my second piece of advice would be this. You have to turn Russian. You have to turn Brazilian. You have to get a takedown round 1. Listen, if you're Jared Vanderaa, you need a takedown round 1. If you do not get a takedown round 1, you're going to Shadow City, right? You're going to go to sleep. This guy's going to knock you dead if you don't get a takedown. You have to get a takedown. Now, obviously, Acosta's pretty new in the sport of mixed martial arts, yeah, but the boxing looks sharp. You know what I'm saying? The boxing looks good. It looks powerful. And it looks like it could sleep Jared Vanderaa. Please get a takedown. Or, you know what? Don't even get a takedown. Because I'm going to pick against you. And I hope, I'm not going to lie, I hope you get slept. Waldo Cortes-Acosta to sleep Jared Vanderaa. Jared, you got to turn Russian. You got to use jiu-jitsu. You got to use wrestling. You got to turn Brazilian. But he probably doesn't. He probably gets slept. My pick is Acosta. Alright, moving into the co-main event, we've got Max Griffin taking on Tim Means. Now, guys, this is going to be veteran versus veteran. I'm going to keep this prediction nice and short. I think Max Griffin's looking better in the octagon than Tim Means currently. You know, Tim Means is like 39 years old. You know, he done okay against like Mike Perry, Nicholas Dalby, Laureano Staropoli, but I don't know, man. Against Kevin Holland, kind of hittable. You know, and I think Max Griffin's boxing's pretty sharp. So yeah, I'm going to keep the co-main nice and short. I think Max Griffin's boxing is basically going to be the difference. So yeah, that's going to be my pick. Alright, moving into the main event, we've got Calvin Kattar taking on my boy Arnold Allen. Let's go. Alright guys, so listen, when an English fighter is fighting and I'm making a prediction, I kind of can't win. Right, I kind of cannot win. I remember picking against Tom Aspinall, right? And people from like Europe and people from the UK was like, Tom, you're picking against Tom. Tom's going to show you. Even though I said in that breakdown, I've never picked against Tom Aspinall, right? And on that same card, I picked Paddy Pimblett to win. And then I've got people across the other side of the pond like, you're only picking Paddy because he's English. So any pick that I do make with an English fighter, it's like I can't win. But this is the fact. I don't care what part of the world you're from or what flag you've got. I'm going to give you my honest opinion in the breakdown. Alright, so this is going to be my breakdown. Calvin Kattar, primarily a boxer, right? The guy's got really sharp boxing. Beautiful boxing. On the flip side, Arnold Allen was boxing before he even got into mixed martial arts, right? So he's got a boxing background, and that's why the guy's undefeated. The guy's very good. Arnold Allen, very well rounded. So you're looking at the boxing of both of these guys, and it's good, right? Calvin Kattar's using like a high guard, you know. Arnold doesn't really use a high guard. Now, there's going to be a couple things I want to mention. Arnold Allen, I believe, has got the wrestling advantage. His wrestling is very, very good. He's very smart, you know, high IQ. And it's not like Arnold has to go into this main event and take down Kattar straight away. Hasn't got to do that. You know, Arnold Allen can stand and box until he's got to take you to the mat. You know, he can do both. And he hasn't got to panic wrestle. Now, the reason why I'm going to say this is close to a 50-50 matchup, it's a 5-rounder. Yeah, Kattar's done that. Arnie hasn't. So even if Arnold Allen goes up 1-0, goes up 2-0, Calvin Kattar's got 15 more minutes in this main event. You know, it's a 5-round main event. And it's not over round 1, it's not over round 2. Unless you get a stoppage in round 1 or round 2, then the fight's over. But this is a 25-minute main event. I do believe Arnold Allen is going to achieve takedowns. You know, I've seen this. I don't know if you can say this because they've got the new gambling rule, but I've seen Arnold train in the gym. I've seen this guy. This guy is brilliant. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that Calvin Kattar's not training like an animal. I'm not saying that. But I've seen with my own eyes, yeah, the professional sessions with Arnold. I've seen them. Now, one thing I do want to mention, Calvin Kattar's taken a lot of damage. And the more damage you take, it's not going to do you any favours. I know the guy's tough, right? He's very tough, but I wouldn't even be shocked if Arnie starched him. I really wouldn't. You think about all the damage. You think about how accurate Arnie is with his punches. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm picking Arnold Allen to win this matchup. And I don't mind. You can say, like, I picked because he's English. You can do that. I don't mind. I've never picked against Arnold. And every time he's been to the octagon, that's money. That's money. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. I think Arnold Allen can get takedowns early in the fight. He can get takedowns late in the fight. I think he can box early in the fight. I think he can box late in the fight. The only real concern that Arnie has is just not messing up first. Right? You don't want to be tired after 10 minutes. But the guy is smart. The guy knows that. And that's why I think Arnie's going to win this main event. Alright guys, be sure to post your main event, your co-main event, your MoneyCity Plays. And as always, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller. Alright, peace.